a little bit here. What up, man?
Yo,
How you doing?
cool man. How you?
Chilling. It's been a while. What's going on?
Let me get myself together. I'm all on.
This is like my first time doing this, so give me a break. What's up? You got the whole gang. How y'all doing?
Yo.
Oh, my bad. You might as well see him now.
What's up, guys?
What up, Shawn?
How we doing?
We good, man. Everybody's good.
We got 78 on here already. That must be your people. I don't know.
That ain't my people. That's your people.
Good deal, man. Well, hey, first, thank you for coming on here, dude. I know you're a busy guy hanging out with the Goon Squad over there, but...
Is it too loud? Should I go?
No, you're good, man.
You sure?
You're good.
Okay.
So I'm going to introduce you real quick for my people that don't know who you are yet. This is my friend Shawn Porter. We went to high school together. I believe I was a junior, and I heard from some people that there were two boxers coming to play football for our school. And here you and your brother come, sure enough. So, yeah, we played high school football together, kept in touch throughout college. And then Shawn started fighting professionally, and I started getting to go visit all these cool places to watch him. So that was cool. So we've remained close for a while, and he's a great friend. So
Thank you.
His current professional record is 31-3, two-time world champion, and he had an amateur record of 276-14. Is that correct?
Give or take.
Right. They're not all on the books, I know.
Yeah, no.
Also was a Golden Gloves champion. So did I miss any like boxing accolades, or is that pretty much that side of it?
Yeah.
Tell the people a little more about you real quick. What do you like to do when you have some downtime, when you're not training?
Yeah. You know what? Let me start back to when we were together in school. I don't know, like, outside of going to the few matches that you probably went to, you probably didn't even realize I was a boxer.
I mean, we'll get into that later. I got a couple amateur stories, but yeah, I mean, it was in the newspaper. I remember when you first came to our school, it was in the Stowe Century that these two, you know, famous for your age boxers.
Your broadcasting room, your Porter Way room.
You're good. We're coming to our school, so we were all like, you know how when someone new comes to your school, you hear things about them, and you're like, all right, are these dudes for real? So I mean, it was.
Yeah.
It
so
was
I
cool.
mean, just saying that to say, you know, for the most part, outside of going to the gym, outside of the week of a fight when I'm doing my thing. Nice, cool. Outside of doing my fight week when I'm doing my thing, now I have the broadcasting career as well. But for the most part, I just live a really simple life. You know what I mean? I'm still trying to play cards and go bowling and Monopoly as much as possible. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I gifted myself for my birthday last year a basketball hoop outside my house in the driveway. So I mean, I'm like as simple as it comes outside of when I have to do the boxing and
absolutely. And that's something I think that your friend group we really like about you is, you know, I've been to several fights, and the people you're fighting against have an entourage of 10 people all wearing thousands of dollar chains and all this stuff. You're just a simple guy. You go out there, you get the job done, and that's pretty much it.
And you know, that's just how I live my life and how my campus run. I don't hate on anybody that does it like that. You know, of course, sometimes I chirp at some of those guys like, hey man, make sure you're paying attention to this or that, because you never know, man. You got 15, 20 guys walking with you, and one of them starts a fight, and now the rest of you guys got to kind of, you know what I mean? So I just feel like when you have a lot of people around you, there's more policing that you have to do, and it kind of it could take your attention off of what means the most, which is, you know, you actually getting in the ring and performing at optimal level and things like that. So
yeah, man. And I'm gonna keep this mostly about you because, you know, my students and my people that come to my events already know what we do, but I'm gonna let you know a little bit about what we do. So Bay County Sports Club is organized sports with no commitment to join a team or pay for a season. So the reason I started it is I coach basketball as well. I've been the head football coach. I've coached track. I'm at a small school, and so I step up and do it. But what I found is for basketball, for example, we'll have 65 kids come try out for the team, and I can only keep like 15. So it's like, where do these other 50 kids that love the sport, where are they going to go play? Right? They're not necessarily good enough to go play travel ball or anything like that. So I wanted to give those kids a place to come play competitive sports. We have referees and a running scoreboard, but it's just not a league or a season. It's almost a nicer open gym type thing. You know what I mean? With a running clock and all that. The other thing smart. It's 100% free. We run off donations only because, again, I don't want to leave anybody out, you know, because maybe their parents' financial situation, through no fault of their own, they can't afford to go pay $20 to get into the gym or whatever it is. Yeah. So that's what we do. And I thought you might like that. You know what I mean?
I love it. I love it. I love it because it's necessary. You know,
it is.
I was doing a webinar the other day. An idle mind is a devil's playground. You know what I mean? And then just from there, you know, even if you aren't religious, when you're not involved in something, that gives you more opportunity to get in trouble. You know what I mean? So
absolutely.
I think on behalf of myself and everybody else that knows you and is involved with you, thank you for providing an outlet for kids that, you know, I know personally kids that didn't make a team and they want to go, you know, because they didn't make the team, they want to go do everything else that those guys and look at those guys like, oh, you can't do this because you're on the team. I'm where I want to be, you know what I mean? So I appreciate you for giving these kids somewhere else to be, you know what I mean? Even though they aren't directly, you know.
For sure. Hey, and when I franchise it, the next one's going to be in Vegas, so.
Come on.
Hey, we'll get Drew to head that one up, though, right?
Yeah, Drew's perfect for that.
All right, man. So back to my questions here. So it's not very common for a lot of kids to get into boxing. So what was it that got you started when you were really young, and how old were you?
Boxing is, and I think this is also why boxing isn't a very big or popular sport here in the United States. Boxing's it's a family sport. You know, if you look around the landscape of boxing, everyone has a dad that did it, or a grandfather that did it, an uncle that did it.
True.
And it's kind of like you're brought to the gym by a family member. That family member watches it on TV, looks at the son or the kid and says, "Man, I'd love to see you do that one day." And then next thing you know, you're 5 years old in the mirror doing it. And now you're 33 years old in the mirror still doing it. You know what I mean? And
so would you say like a first generation kid that just decides to go be a great boxer, that's pretty rare?
Yeah, I think so. You do. So you do it. Yeah. So the other side of it, if you don't have a family member that's doing it, usually it's because you've done other sports and you're like, let me see what this thing is really like, you know? And the guys who are really athletic can get into it and do it. But that is, I think, is rare, you know? And I think that's mostly my theory, but I think it could be a proven theory and no problem at all. But yeah, I think more than anything, it's my theory. It's a family sport where normally you don't gravitate towards the sport, especially not at a young age. Usually someone else taking you to it.
Right. I mean, not many people want to go get punched in the face, so.
Man, listen. I grew up doing this, man. A lot of people I don't think a lot of people understand that about me. And I think at one point in my professional career, the story started to be told that I played football in high school and I could have been a collegiate athlete.
Right.
And then everybody said he's a football player that decided to box.
They say it all the time. Like, they try to act like you didn't know how to box and you just bullied football people.
It's like I did them both my entire life. But if I had to make the choice, I would have chosen to play football. It's just, you got a team, you get some timeouts here and there.
It's a whole lot different, man.
You get to put on some pads.
Well, with boxing, though, you create your own path. So the work you put in is the reward you get out, and that's the difference.
That was, believe it or not, that's what I told my dad. My dad thought that I was going to go to college and play ball, and I said, hey, we can control this. We don't have to look left and right and worry about 10 other guys giving it all they got. So let's go for it, you know. And so I think, you know, my determination and my heart to want to succeed, along with the talent that I had and my gifts, as far as my athleticism, all of that, just kind of, it all went hand in hand and made a lot of sense. But you're right, 9 times out of 10, nobody really wants to go get hit for a living.
Nah. Hey, Stahl's on here. He told me to say we were in a play together in high school too, and we still need to find that video. Shawn and I were in a high school. Was it a musical? I don't even remember.
No, it definitely was not a
drama class.
Slow down. Wasn't a musical. Yeah, Nights at the Round Table. Yeah.
Yes. So y'all didn't know Shawn Porter was an actor. You heard it here first.
Yeah. And I lived my life a lot like the way we did when we did that play, and we were in drama class where we just up and decided to change roles halfway through the show. Like, I just call audibles all the time.
Oh yeah. I mean, we were naturals. What can I say?
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's elaborate on the 276-14 amateur record just a little bit. That's a lot of fights for someone under the age of 18. So it sounds like even at a really young age, you took boxing really serious and put a ton of time into it. So do you think you were kind of treating boxing as a job already at that point, or were you actually having fun still doing what you love to do?
No, the interesting thing is I treated it like a job without knowing that I was treating it like a job.
Right.
And I don't know if you know this, but I'm getting certified to become a sports life coach.
Okay,
and
cool. I didn't.
Get my graduation is next week.
Hey.
Yeah, so let's
congrats.
Go over here and celebrate the graduation.
Yeah, man.
But
awesome.
Maybe I'll do it live and I'll have you come on mine for the graduation, something like that.
Hey, why not? Right?
But anyway, the part that I'm at now is that I have to take people through workouts and exercise everything that I've learned to this point.
Yeah.
And the girl that I was on the line with yesterday is a volleyball player. She just played her first year of professional volleyball in Europe, in Italy actually. And I asked her, I said, okay, so we're going to define your professional life. And I said, I don't know if you realize this, but you've only played 1 year of professional volleyball.
Right.
But you've been a professional for a long time because you committed the same amount of time that someone professional would. You just didn't get compensated.
Yeah.
You went through the rigorous training and things like that, just like a professional. You just didn't get paid for it, you know? So I think in a lot of ways, I've always had a professional life, even though I wasn't, considered a professional in boxing.
So we kind of just touched on it, but the whole reason I reached out to you to do this interview is because whenever, I'm a PE coach as well as a sports coach at my school. And 90% of the time when I ask a kid, what do you want to do for money when you're older? They say what?
Want to be a pro athlete.
They want to be a pro athlete. So I feel like you can provide so much value to them by kind of telling them how serious you took the sport when you were their age. So between, say, 10 years old and 17 years old, how many hours a day would you say you were putting into your craft, even while playing football at the same time?
I'll give a couple of examples opposed to telling you how much time. Example number one is I didn't grow up with I didn't live in the same household with my mom and my dad. So early in my life, when I was 8 to about 11, I lived with my mom. My dad, he comes up to Cleveland. He hangs a boxing hangs a boxing bag up in the garage. And then he shows us how to, do everything. Then he goes back to Akron, and he's calling every day. Hey, did you guys do your workout? Did you guys do your jog?
Yeah.
I mean, he measured out a jog for us and everything. Did you guys do your jog? It's like, I did my homework, and then I went down the street and played football. I wanted, you know what I mean? And the other side of that too is you have, as committed as you want to be to your sport, you have to have someone there to hold you accountable, because we're kids. Yeah. We don't always understand or see that what we do right now at 10 years old is going to have an effect on us when we're 20. It's going to have an effect on you 10 years later. So you got to start honing in on all of this right now. And so even without knowing it, my dad was always there to hold me accountable and make sure I did what I needed to do, so on and so forth. Another example is my senior year in high school. I'm 18. I'm about to graduate. and I get called to do an international trip to Argentina. Who would pass on an opportunity to perform against other countries in another country in a tropical, Argentina? So I'm like, boom, all right, I'm gonna miss my last couple of weeks of my senior year to go to this trip. Oh, I'm gonna miss prom because of this trip.
Right. That's a tough decision.
Yeah, a lot of kids, you know how it is when you graduate. A lot of kids are going here and there and everywhere. Yep. And it's like, if I miss that opportunity to say bye, I may never see someone again.
You won't ever. Yeah, true.
Yeah, the commitment level is very serious. The training is going to be very rigorous. And we call it tunnel vision. And I know you know what this is, but for the kids out there, tunnel vision is having the ability to not look left and not look right and only go for your goal. It's very hard to do. You have to have mom on this side. You have to have dad on this side. You have to have coach on this side. You got to have grandma on this side. You have to have people that can keep you in line and helping you understand that if I don't get A's, I can't get on the court.
Yeah.
If I don't get that 4.0, I can't get on the field, and I think that if you take every part of your life as serious as you want to take being a professional athlete, everything is going to go the way you want it to go, and eventually you'll be right there. And you're like,
you're right.
I made it. But
it all comes down to choices. It all comes down to choices. Do I want to go practice basketball for 6 hours after school? Yeah. Or do I want to go play Xbox, maybe go shoot around in my driveway for 45 minutes? But do I want to go hang out with my friends? It's serious sacrifice.
And again, I didn't understand when I was young. And I just always had my dad to kind of, helping me along, pushing me along and kind of directing me, telling me where to go. And I think that's the other side of this for me is get someone a part in your life, a part of your team that can really direct you and give you great guidance, not just good guidance, but great guidance. Yeah. And when they don't know, they have to be humble enough to ask someone else, So that's the other side of it, man.
Great advice.
I have a fantastic team. Even if going as far back as when I was 10, 12 years old, my parents, even though they weren't together, they were a great team for me, So your household, everything really just adds up, and something's missing, you might miss it.
So what would you recommend if you're a kid and you have a crazy goal like being a professional athlete, but your parent, maybe you don't have that support in the household, somebody pushing you to be better, what do you think they should do?
This is the number one thing I would tell those kids to do, exactly what you and I are doing right now. There's people that you can contact that have either been there or got very close and they know how to get you there.
Yeah.
If you don't have parents that are committed to sports, they're working and they just want you to do what you need to do, and as long as you're getting good grades and the house is clean and you're not getting in trouble, that's good enough. But that's not good enough that's not good enough for you to reach your goal.
Exactly.
In being a professional athlete. Seek knowledge, seek wisdom, contact people that can get you to that next level.
Not only that, but in this day and age, you can learn anything on your own. It's called the internet. Yeah. And it's called YouTube mixed with hours and hours of practice. You can learn anything. So
well, what I told my wife just yesterday, and we'll move forward, but I said everything's right there on the internet for us. I said, but even with it being right there on the internet, you're still going to need somebody to further show you or tell you what you learned on the internet, So just because this is why I have to say it, YouTube has a lot of boxing things on it, and then you get a lot of people that try to learn boxing from YouTube,
right?
And then they think that they're a real trainer. They think that they're a real fighter.
Yeah. And then they go get hurt at school.
Yeah, not just getting hurt at school, but they come up against the real thing in the ring, and it's like now you're hurt, you're heartbroken because you think you learned a lot, but it wasn't enough, So use the internet, but also use a real voice.
Right. Maybe use the internet to seek out a good mentor instead of YouTube how to box.
Yeah.
All right, so what is it like being a professional athlete? I know you're on ESPN, you're on boxing shows, you're broadcasting. not to mention your fights are highly televised when you fight.
Yeah.
Do people come up to you all the time, pictures, autographs? Does it ever get old? Or are you just grateful to be where you're at?
It doesn't get old. I kind of feel like in a lot of ways you say, "Oh, I was born for this." I don't know. I can really say that I think God put me here for this purpose, to do what I'm starting to do and to do more of. Sports life coaching is the next really big step for me.
Yeah, that's really cool.
In terms of what I feel my purpose is here for, my purpose is for. However, I can tell you, like, for real, I remember being in elementary school and writing an autograph all over my desk and then like wiping it all off before I left school.
Yeah.
And I remember, like, okay, just put it in a notebook. You won't get in trouble, you know? And I remember being in elementary school feeling like one day I'm going to be writing autographs. You know what I mean? So in a lot of ways, I'm living the exact life that I've always wanted to live. I'll be honest, I didn't know that it was going to be boxing specifically, but it is, and I'm grateful for it. I don't go outside and there's people yelling at me. I can go to the mall and there may be 2 or 3.
But in certain circles, you know, when you get around a certain group,
circles,
exactly.
Especially if it's fight week in Vegas, I can't go anywhere but by myself. And I love it. It's a great time. Nobody's ever out to get me. Thank you to all my fans out there that just show love and support and aren't out to get me, because I get people all the time, man, you need security, this and that. I'm like, nobody ever does anything. I'm fine, you know? So
yeah, but you get back what you put out, and you're not one that's running around running his mouth. So who would ever want to hurt you? You're the nicest guy in the world.
Yeah. So and I really hope there's not somebody on here like, oh, I want to hurt him, you know what I mean? But no, for the most part, man, I'm very grateful for the life that I live. And I think that a lot of you guys out there, if you want to be professional athletes, get ready for, if you are your best, people are going to recognize it and want to be a part of it. And that means taking time to do autographs, taking time to take pictures, taking time to shake hands, taking time to smile at someone and offer them some love and some genuine respect, you know? So that's what comes my way, and I'm always ready for it.
Speaking of the autographs from a young age, I do still have a T-shirt you signed when I believe you were a sophomore, and it is old and crusty right now. I've never worn it. I've never washed it. It's just hung in my closet for like literally 20 years now. I've had this T-shirt, and you signed it.
Wow, like 5th.
I'm telling you.
We're getting up there. We're getting up there.
You were 13. You were probably 13 when you fought at the riverfront in Cuyahoga Falls is when I got that shirt. You were probably 13, 14. Yeah,
18 at the time. Yeah,
but that's still like 17 years, 16 years. That's wild. Wow. Anyways, when you get to the Hall of Fame, I'm gonna sell it. So as long as that's okay,
go for it.
So do the being on ESPN and broadcasting, do the bright lights and cameras, is it kind of weird still, or is it like perfectly normal now? Do you ever get like a little stage fright on those shows?
It was normal from the beginning. I think it was normal because it was what I always wanted. Yeah. And so I've always been the one to say, you know, why would I shy away from something that I've always wanted? And I think that that's kind of how I handle whatever nervous tension that comes or whatever type of anxiety may be coming. I just always remind myself, like, yo, this is what I always wanted to be, man. I'm not about to crack on. I'm not gonna let this.
That's what all the work was for, right?
Yeah. I mean, and you know, the other part about it is people be like, like, what does it feel like to be on national TV? What does it feel like in, you know, millions of people watching? Like, I'm in the ring doing it, man. I'm in the ring, you know, fighting for my life. I don't recognize that.
Literally fighting for your life. Watching. Yeah.
My last big fight. Were you at my last fight against Errol Spence?
I was 2 seats behind Ray J. Dude, I was right in your corner. I was 2 seats back. It was crazy.
Yeah. So though.
And Ray J had a man purse on.
Oh, don't do that to him. But those are the moments right there, man. Like, when I come out, I look around like I need every seat to be filled. You know what I mean? So at this point, not only is it normal, but I look forward to it. I welcome all the boos. As long as it's loud, I'm loving it. Yeah.
I bet that adrenaline rush is like the most crazy thing in the world when you step out there.
Yeah, it's real. You've been to Cedar Point. It really
Yep.
is like,
when you're at the top.
Whatever ride is new, and the first time getting on it, that's how it feels. Because getting in the ring, you're fighting somebody different. You may be in a different atmosphere or so on and so forth. It's like that first time getting on a roller coaster ride every time.
Every time.
Every time.
That kind of segues. So I remember when we were in high school, I would come watch. First, it was the Armory, right?
Yeah.
There was like 15 people there. And then I remember watching you fight at the Riverfront and a couple other really small venues. Did you always kind of, and I think you kind of already answered this, did you always really know you would get where you are today? Or are you still amazed when you like reflect and you're like, holy crap, look how far I've come?
All the time.
Yeah.
Every time I think back, I'm always kind of like mind blown. Like,
yeah,
I can't believe it. There's two fights that I watch even now. I fought Keith Thurman in 2016, and I fought Errol Spence Jr. in 2018. Excuse me, 19.
19, yeah.
I fought Danny Garcia in 2018. Those three fights, whenever I watch them, I'm just like, my jaw drops. I'm like, I can't believe I was doing that. I can't believe wow. You know what I mean?
So you're just like in the zone when you're fighting and you don't even think about it. But then you watch it and you're like, holy.
When I watch it, I'm just like eyebrows raised. Like, I can't believe it. You know what I mean? So it's this has definitely been a special part of my life. I'm sure as many people would expect it to be. But I think, again, a lot of times, this is what I've learned from my sports psych coaching. When you're a high achiever, you don't really stop to look at what you've done. It's like, okay, what else can I achieve? What else can I achieve? What's next? What's next? What's next? Yep. And so I've always had that mindset of what's next. Yep. I won my very first championship, and we went to the back room, and literally, like, we were happy, but nobody's jumping around. Right. Nobody's crying. Nothing. And it was like, what's next, you know? And I remember, like, fast forward, the next time I won my championship, I'm like, I'm not going to treat it like that. Like, I'm going to actually enjoy this moment, you know?
Give it a few days at least.
Yeah, it took me going through my sports psych coaching for me to understand that because I am a high achiever and because a lot of us out there are high achievers, we don't really know how to celebrate. And we are always looking forward to the next thing. If anything, I would say take time to really see what you've done, love on it, and cherish it in that moment, and then move forward, because if you don't, you may miss some opportunities to really.
That's why you're such a winner, Shawn. You win a big fight, and most guys will go out and spend $100,000 over the next week.
Yeah.
Our friend group goes bowling instead, and you might buy for everybody, but you still only spent $30. I mean,
yeah, it's true. It's 100%.
That's all you need.
Yeah, because after I win a fight, I'm going back home to Cleveland. I'm not going to. And no knock against anybody else, but I'm not going to an island or anything like that. Right. Yes, I've done that before, but for the most part, I'd rather go home, tell everybody I'm home, and say, yo, what day are we bowling? You know what I mean? What day are we playing ball,
I love it.
And just do it, love on other people,
Yes, sir. All right. So what would you say your biggest inspiration was to work so hard and ultimately put yourself in the position you're in now? Where did your inner drive come from to work so hard?
My dad. I didn't, again, he grew me up quick. I mean, he had me doing things at 10, 11 years old that I still do now at, 25, 30 years old. Now I'm 33 of being a professional athlete, so he really trained me hard. He coached me hard. He parented me hard and really helped me grow. And so in doing all of that, it's like he took me through a lot. And it's like now the only thing I know is like how to prepare hard and how to go at things hard and, how to kind of give it my all no matter what it is that I'm doing. So that's really where it comes from. And then I think I was able to see other fighters do what I do now. And I always wanted to be where they were. And I've always wanted to be here. And so it's like when you see what other guys have, their physical attributes, their talents, their gifts, and you're like, man, I'm a sponge. I was just soaking all that up. This is what I want to do. This is how I want to do it, and just kind of made everything my own. And so it's like now, of course, along with being a veteran in the sport, not only do I know how to train for a professional fight, but it's like I don't know anything less than going for greatness.
Yeah, cool. So we've all seen movies like Rocky and Creed where the heroic boxer gets absolutely rocked with an uppercut, but always comes back to win. Yeah. What is the hardest you've ever been hit in a fight, and how did you regain your composure after taking that hit to come back and win?
I'm gonna go ahead and
name a name. Who hit you the hardest? We want to know.
No, because I'm gonna tell the story. You were there when I fought Errol Spence
Oh, I know what you're gonna say.
He caught me throwing a punch. We're throwing a punch at the same time, and his punch landed first. And it was like a quick flash. It was like I'm gone and I'm right back. And by the time I came right back, my legs had buckled. And the only thing, like my instincts told me to catch myself with my glove, and or to catch myself with my hand. And so and what most people I don't think they know is that when you get hit with a punch and your hand touches the canvas, it's ruled a knockdown. Yeah. And so between the time of me getting hit and coming back, and then by the time I'm right here and I felt my glove touch the canvas, I knew that the referee was coming to count me. Yeah. And I was so pissed. I was like, don't do it. And he came. I was like, oh, here. I said, get out of the way. And I looked at Errol. I said, let's go, because it really ignited me. I really wanted to get that moment back. And in a lot of ways, I felt like that was the moment that was going to separate the winner from the loser, or the draw that it could have been. I really did feel like that was the moment. In that moment when it happened, and I was really pissed. But I think that that's how I recovered. I recovered by being, I guess, mad or ready. I was in an emotional state to fight.
Yeah, you were ready to roll.
I wasn't in an emotional state to quit. I was in an emotional state to really fight. And I think that that's how I was able to recover from getting hit hard.
Right. So being a professional boxer has to take a huge toll on you mentally and physically, obviously, especially after the amount of years you've been in the sport. Yeah. So when you do finally decide to hang it up, you know, you're still going to be really young. Yeah. So what are you thinking? What do you want to do?
I'm going to be really young. God has blessed me, man. I'm doing work with Fox. NBC took note of that, and they picked me up last year, even during this pandemic. They picked me up last year, and now I'm working for NBC as well. The NBC Olympics has hired me to broadcast the boxing this year for the Olympic Games.
That's cool, man.
So broadcasting is definitely going to be what I do probably from here on. Yeah. I got the sports life coaching thing. I'm all about motivating, inspiring, and helping others, and that's what I look to do with my sports life coaching. I'm looking at some opportunities to get into some movies.
Okay.
I like it, man. Yeah. No, you thought it was stopping on the stage at Stowe Monroe Falls High School. It ain't stopping there, baby.
Hey, let me get a cameo though. Come on.
You know I'm gonna keep you in mind.
All right, man. Let's get into a couple fun questions and we'll get out of here. So.
Oh, I thought we did that already.
Oh, well, let's say funny questions.
All right, let's do it.
So you met LeBron, you met Shaq, you met Jamie Foxx, you met countless other, you know, famous people. Floyd Mayweather, you've spent a lot of time with. Who are your top 3 coolest celebrities or athletes you've ever met, and why?
Man, I got a lot, and I'm gonna just go down a quick list.
Do it.
The very first time I saw Jamie Foxx, we were walking, we were in line leaving the fight, and my dad said, "There's Jamie. You want to go say what's up?" I said, no. I said, we walk in. You know, I don't want to get him right now. Like I kind of want to have a conversation with him. So I'd rather us be in a situation where we can kind of chill a little bit. He said, no, man, you need to say what's up to him now. So my dad took off, like headed towards him, and I'm like, dang.
Now, did your dad know him? Did your dad know him or no?
No.
Okay.
But I was like, man, you gonna mess up my moment. Like So he's like,
don't embarrass me, Dad.
Like, but like before I met Jamie, like he was like, and still is like the guy for me.
Yeah, that's cool.
So like in my mind, I created this whole scenario, how I wanted it to be, and you know how what I wanted to talk about, all that, and I'm like, none of that's gonna happen because we're walking, right? My dad tapped him on the back and said, "Hey, what's up, Jamie Foxx? I want you to meet my son, Shawn Porter." Jamie said, oh yeah, no, I know you guys. Like every time I see y'all on TV, I'm like, man, it look like my family on TV. And we just had a really good fun laugh. And you know, it's always said that my dad looks like Jamie. I look
People
like
are in
Jamie,
the comments right now saying you look like Jamie.
yeah, so that's how that happened, man. Another one is the first time I met LeBron James. I walked up to him and I just extended my hand. We have a mutual friend that's has told him about me, but I didn't know.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
He stood up. He said, "What's up, SB? How you doing?" I'm like,
okay.
Oh my God, he called me SB.
Hey, that's like a big cosign right there.
Yeah,
he knows your nickname.
I got two more for you. Steve Harvey.
Okay.
Right after I met LeBron, walking through the little the chairs or whatever, and Steve is walking my way, and I said, "How you doing, Steve Harvey? I'm Shawn Porter." And he says, "Porter." He says, "You hit, don't you?" I said, "Yeah, I'm a fighter." He says, "I seen you fight before, man. You pretty good." I'm like, "Yeah, man. Nice to meet you." Blah blah blah. And the last story I got for you, man, is the one that really I really cherish this moment. I got an opportunity to sit around some of the cast of the Marvel movies.
Oh, okay.
So Iron Man was there. Don Cheadle was there. Chris Hemingway was there. Don Cheadle was there. And I got an opportunity to sit in front of Chadwick Boseman.
Wow, yeah. That's cool.
And of course, I'm a movie head, so I know all these guys. I said what's up, but I leave it alone. I'm not talking to nobody. My dad ends up turning around talking to Chadwick like all night. And once we got up to leave, Chadwick touched me on the back and handed me his phone, and I put my number in his phone. You know what I mean? So like that's what boxing gave me, man. Boxing gave me a lot of great friendships, a lot of great relationships, and a lot of great moments. You know what I mean? So those are a few of the celebrities that I was able to meet.
So did meeting Steve Harvey that night, did that lead to the Family Feud, getting you on Family Feud at all, or it was on?
No. And I think I felt like when he saw me on Family Feud, I felt like he knew me from like researching me before the show. I felt like, you know, like even that moment that we had, I feel like that movie like kind of like came and went for him or whatever.
Yeah.
But there we had they did a boxing episode and they wanted some people to come on and represent for the WBC. And man, we had a lot of fun. There's a lot of stuff that didn't make the official episode.
Yeah,
that y'all didn't see, man. It was a lot of fun.
Well,
I hope we can do that again.
I want to thank you. I've had the opportunity to meet a lot of cool people just by being around you. I've met Floyd.
Yeah.
It was I don't know how many years ago, but
yeah, you were at Floyd's gym, right?
We were at Floyd's gym, and I met Floyd, but also Carson. He's like, "You want to meet somebody famous? Go shake his hand." And I look over, it's Spence. I didn't know who the guy was. He's like, he's gonna be a star. And I hate to say it, but Carson was right.
Yeah.
Topher and I met Deontay Wilder. We got pictures with Keith, Deontay, and I don't know if you know this, but when you fought Broner, you were staying at the MGM, and Justin Bieber was staying 2 doors down from you.
Oh no!
When we were up in that crazy suite up top.
Yeah.
And Topher and I met his friends, and of course Topher says, "Hey, can we meet Bieber?" Because it's 2 doors down, and they're like, "Nah, he's taking a nap." So we were close. But that's cool, man.
Taking a nap.
I know. All right, a couple lightning round questions. Just answer real quick off the top of your head. What do you think about Jake Paul boxing?
It's working for the sport, man. I think it's an advantage. It's gonna put eyes on the sport. So for that reason, I do like it.
You get the #1 pick in fantasy football this season. Who are you taking and why?
I don't know. I feel like it makes sense to take Patrick Mahomes. He's one of the best players in the league.
All right,
follow up. Man, don't talk to me about fantasy football.
Hold up. Follow-up question. Do you think you ever have a chance to win our league or even not be in the bottom 3 for just 1 year?
Listen, you know when that happens, you know I'm gonna cry all day and all night. And then I'm gonna go on a spree. I'm probably gonna come to everybody's house individually.
I know you will.
And talk crap.
I know you will. And it'll be better than any boxing world championship.
That's probably at this point could be true.
Who's gonna win the Super Bowl this year?
You want me to say the Browns?
Better say it.
You better for real.
You better say it. All right, give me your real answer. Who?
Man, listen, the Browns, they look good. Let's talk. I mean, The Browns look great right now.
Do.
So on paper, we got to perform. The way we ended last year, if we keep it moving, I don't see us not keeping it going. So the Browns are going to be in the playoffs next year, and 100%. They may go deeper than they went this past year. Obviously, Patrick Mahomes, if he's got the same Chiefs squad that he had last year,
we got them week 1. We got the.
I know I'm going.
Oh, okay. All right. Next question. What is your favorite
I'm representing,
food?
Man, all day and all night.
What is your favorite food?
We got some fish downstairs right now, so I would probably say fried fish or lasagna.
Favorite dessert?
Chocolate chip cookies.
Obviously. Are you a good karaoke singer or a bad karaoke singer?
I'm a great karaoke singer. Talking about. Ooh, yeah.
What is your favorite movie?
My favorite movie, Any Given Sunday.
That's a great movie.
Yes,
Who's
sir.
the most exciting athlete to watch that still plays today?
Patrick Mahomes is also Jackson over there with the Ravens.
Yep.
Lamar Jackson. I really like Lamar.
Who wins in a fight, Bruce Lee or Chuck Norris?
Bruce Lee. Why are you
Agreed.
Why are you doing
Hey, a lot of people think Chuck Norris is like.
You know what's making me mad is people are starting to talk about Bruce Lee and say that he wasn't real, and that he couldn't do what he did in the movies. Okay, we know that the movies aren't real, but don't take away.
Oh, he's a beast.
Yeah, beast, 100%.
I used to watch all his old movies with my dad, man. They were great.
Me too.
All right, if you had to pick one, would you rather never get to watch football again or never get to eat a chocolate chip cookie again?
I would rather. Ooh, God. I ain't picking. I'm not picking.
You have to. All right. We'll let that one go.
Who's the greatest? You went home with that one.
Who's the greatest? The greatest NBA player of all time.
I mean, everything says Michael Jordan, but I would say that there's things about LeBron James that really does separate him from Michael Jordan. Obviously, Mike's got all the rings.
Yeah.
But LeBron he really is that one of a kind freak of nature. He came into the pro game at like 18 or 19.
Yeah.
Has been virtually flawless off of the court, which is you can't really say that about too many athletes.
Very
so
true.
I think that he's got some attributes both on and off of the court that I feel kind of exceed what the greatest Michael Jordan did. So,
all right, if you were not a pro athlete, you could not have a career in sports at all.
Yeah.
If you're just a normal guy, what would your career be?
My normal guy, I thought that I was gonna go to college and play football, and then go back to Stowmorrow Falls and be a high school football coach.
Really?
High school teacher. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was gonna be a teacher and coach football because I love it, and that was gonna be it.
Hey man, listen, we can't pay you what you're used to, but we're always looking for good coaches at Breakfast Point Academy.
Yeah.
So you let me know when you retire. I'm the athletic director too, so I can get you a job. I promise.
Anytime, man. I'll be a guest anytime, man. When I have the opportunity to.
All right, man. We're gonna take 3 questions from a viewer, and then we're gonna give away these gloves. So if you are viewing and you have a question, what do you got? Let's scroll down.
I gotta pick somebody to give these gloves to.
Well, we're gonna figure that out because I want to make sure I give it to a local, one of my people. All right, I got Shawn. What toothpaste do you use? Your teeth are so white. I don't know if they're talking about me or you. I mean, they said SP, so I guess you.
I realize what I really need is a contract to do some promotions and some commercials for one of those. But I use Sensodyne.
Okay.
I'm a Sensodyner.
All right. Someone said, "Will you ever fight Pacquiao?"
I don't think that fight's gonna happen for me. I think he's looking for something else on his way out, and I don't think I'm gonna be the one. So we'll see.
Right. Who is your clothing designer, or I guess who picks out your clothes? You do dress pretty flashy.
Shawn Porter suit collection is coming soon. So
wait, is it actually?
I'm hoping to launch it by the summer.
Oh my goodness! All right.
And I mean by like June or July.
Someone wants to know if you'll play against him in horse. I think it's Nate Dujanovic.
Oh wow!
What's up, Nate?
What up, Nate?
All right, man. That's all I got, dude.
Here, huh?
Let me look on these viewers and see who's still here. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna look on the viewers. I'm gonna give you a list of names of my local people here, and you just listen to all these names, and whichever one you remember that comes to you, just pick a random name. You
want to do that later, or you want to do that right now?
I'm gonna do it right now. I'm gonna scroll down the viewers and just pick any name. It's a lot of pressure. All right, McKinley, Nathan, Andrew. Let's see who's still here. Nick. Oh, that's Stall. You can't win. My wife can't win. We got JT. All right, pick from those names. What do you like?
You gave me 4 names, man. McKinley, Nathan, Andrew and JT. I got to go with McKinley.
Oh, all right, dude. McKinley won a pair of autographed gloves. We will set it up.
Yeah.
You going to Ohio this summer?
Hopefully. Lord willing. Man. I was just in Ohio, man. We had a family member just turned 100 years old.
Oh, so wow.
That was a big one right there for the family.
That's cool. Well, we appreciate your time, Shawn, man. Thank you so much. And I'm sure everybody appreciates it. I definitely do. And we'll talk soon. Sir. I appreciate you, man.
You take care, my man. We'll talk soon.
Yes, sir. Have a good night.
God bless everybody. Later.
Thank you.